Look at these guys. Right, good afternoon, ACN. Good morning, 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 ACN. Right, I know most of us traveled long distances to be here this weekend. And honestly, what a magical weekend it has been. But just before we get comfortable, because I know there's many of us that did something bad last night, but we don't want to get into that conversation. And I know many of you were bad behaved last night. So just so we're all on the same page, can we all stand up for a minute? Can everyone just stand up? Please stand up. Okay, what I want you to do, I want you to turn to your neighbor on the left. Okay, turn to your neighbor on the left. Put your right hand on the shoulder of them and put the left hand on the shoulder on top of them and give them a massage. Give them a nice massage. Tell them recover from yesterday. And then now switch. Let's switch. Give them a massage. Tell them recover from yesterday. Tell them recover from yesterday. And let's all take a seat and let's listen to the training. Give your neighbor a round of applause. Well, guys, honestly, what can I say? Honestly, it has been an absolute magical weekend. And how many of you would just agree with me? The feeling that we have today is we cannot describe it in any type of a way to the people that didn't show up. I mean, how many people agree with me? This weekend was absolutely magical. And one thing I just like to ask you, I just want to have a conversation. I just like to ask you one thing. Imagine the feeling that you're having today. Imagine if there were more people in your group that was here to experience the same feeling that you are feeling now. How would that make your team go? Imagine the amount of momentum that will be built in your business. And ladies and gents, I got involved in ACN a little over 2 years ago, I think about 27 months now. And prior to ACN, I mean, I was working full-time. I was a manager in a large retail company in the UK. Actually, it was a corporation that exceeded more than 48 countries around the world. They employed more than 84,000 employees worldwide. I was making a decent income. I was a retail manager. I was working 60 to 70 to 80 hours every single week. I was completely sick and tired of being sick and tired. And when a friend of mine showed me the ACN business, I literally saw it the same day and I got started right away. And honestly, one thing I can tell you is this journey has been the best journey of my entire life. And here's why. It challenged me mentally, and I'm here to tell you this will challenge you mentally. It challenged me emotionally. It really challenged me financially because I wasn't in a position where I was able to travel to all the meetings. It really challenged me in many ways, but let me tell you something. It really is worth it. And my topic today is to speak to you about events, the importance of events. Now, the reason why this is my topic is because I would consider myself honestly a fanatic about this topic. I honestly, for those of you that know me, I mean, one thing that we've done very good in our organization is we just promote from event to event. I literally built my entire business based on the events. Now, we have many different types of events in ACN. The number one event that we have is we have local events. Local events, local BOMs, local PBRs, local trainings. We have national events or regional events where it's more to do with the demographic of where you live, to do with the entire region. We also have international training events like what we are experiencing today. And just before I get into my topic, we're going to be handing out success applications. And let me tell you what success application is. It's white. It's a white piece of paper, and it would say Barcelona from the 2nd to the 4th of March 2016. Now, I just want to, look, just before I get into it, I want to just ask, how many people are going to be with us in Barcelona, Spain? How many people? No. I don't think that's enough people. How many people are going to be with us in Barcelona, Spain? Okay, now let me ask you another question. How many people have already registered for Barcelona, Spain? Can you stand up? Can you stand up so we can see who you are? The ones who've registered for Barcelona, Spain? So you're telling me only 50% of the room stood up, so that means 50% are only coming. So all the noise was for nothing. So it's very important, ladies and gents. I mean, there are two ways you can register for this convention. The number one way is acnreg.eu. The second way you can register for this convention is by filling in one of these success applications that we have today. But I just want you to all just literally just be silent throughout my training. And I want you to really pay attention, because I'm going to be showing you in detail what the events have done for my business, and I'm going to be showing you how you can implement the exact same thing and really drive your business to ways that to a momentum that has never been experienced before. So if you're ready, say I'm ready. Okay, so first things first, what is an event? It's something that happens or regarded as happening in occurrence, especially one of some importance. So events, we have many different types of events, as I discussed previously. But in life as well, there are many types of other events outside of ACN as well. Now, what is the ACN definition of an event? What an event does, it elevates vision and it eliminates negative thoughts. Let's think about that for a minute. It elevates vision and eliminates negative thoughts. Now, I want to ask you a question. Imagine all those skeptics, everyone that told you this was not going to work, everyone that told you this is one of those things. Have you ever experienced that before? Imagine they were with us this weekend to experience or to see what you've seen. And that's the importance of event. And I literally built my business, ladies and gents, from convention to convention to convention. And I want you to say that with me. How did I build my business? From convention to convention to convention. How are you going to build your business? From convention to convention to convention. The conventions are the key, because here's why. I'm going to show you how I was before ACN. This was me before ACN. When I was working in my job, this was my uniform with a green tie. You can see I wasn't happy. How many people agree with me? That guy ain't happy. This guy is happy, right? And this was me before ACN. And that was a picture that I took one morning. There was one morning when, in fact, what happened was we stayed overnight. So we worked overnight in the place I was working, and we literally had to move around a whole store. Now, the store was huge, and we moved around this department store, and when my boss came in the morning, do you know what she said? She said, "Ahmed, you did it all wrong." She said, "You have to redo it again the next night." And that was my face. And that was a picture, in fact, when I took with a few colleagues of mine. And I don't know if you can notice, but in the background, next to this guy, in the background, can you guys see that guy there holding the sign behind this guy? He's a regional director. He's Ayub El Emrani's brother, Omar El Emrani, regional director, top producing, very close to regional vice president. That's him. And he was one of the people I employed where I was working. Now, what happened was, we got started in ACN. I got involved in ACN 11th of June 2013. And honestly, I didn't understand much about the importance of event. And my mentor told me, he said, "Ahmed, if you want success, you have to go to the next international training event." And I said, "What is these international training events about?" I asked him, "Did you go?" He said, "I've never been before." So I said, "Okay, so what is it about?" He said, "Look, you just need to go because it will change your life inevitably. Because here's what I know. You cannot change your life overnight. It's impossible. But you can change the direction of your life that can over time impact and change your life." Because in Barcelona 2013, in Palau St. Jordi Arena, I honestly remember like it was yesterday. I had a downline of only 7 people. So Barcelona, Spain, there were 7 people in my business, no one else. 7 people. How many people were in my business, ladies and gents? 7 people. And I remember we came to that convention, and this was me in Barcelona 2013. I was wearing my dad's suit, right? I was wearing my dad's suit, and as you can see there, I'm just standing there thinking, what is this about? I had no idea what I was going to walk into. And in Barcelona 2013, we really had so much vision after that convention. Because how many people agree with me? Your vision about ACN has never been as strong as it is over this weekend, just so know. And honestly, we started believing. And you know what happened? We came back to London. And when we got back to London, I really started working hard. I started working extremely hard. And what happened? This was me when I was executive team leader. We started doing trainings. I started doing PBRs, whole meetings, because of the vision I gained over that weekend. And I really started working. I was doing PBRs upon PBRs upon PBRs, going from living room to living room to living room. And I was in the trenches. I was helping my team, working with my team. This was me when I was executive team leader. Doing home meetings after home meetings because of what I had experienced in Barcelona 2013. And you know what happened? After 30 days, I achieved the position of executive team leader, and I continued doing PBRs upon PBRs upon PBRs, and the way we felt out, our team started growing. It really started growing. And what happened after that? We were working really hard, and we started getting results. And we started promoting, and we said to people, you would never believe what we saw in Barcelona. We had meetings at the time of about 50 people in a room. And we were telling people, you have no idea what this can do for you. This can change your life, but you have to get yourself to the next convention in Rotterdam. And you know what happened after that, ladies and gents? We started growing. And what happened was we started doing trainings in Ayub El-Amrani's house. Now, just in case you don't know about Ayub El-Amrani, let me just tell you who he was. I'm sorry about this, Ayub, but I really have to expose you today. But Ayub El-Amrani's house at the time where he was living in 2013, you had to wipe your feet when you leave. Literally. But it never stopped us. We started growing, and this was us doing home trainings in Ayub El-Amrani's home. And we started growing as a team. And we started building. And the team started growing. And they started seeing our vision. And we were like, you would never, and we had recorded videos of Barcelona. Look, this is how Barcelona looks. And we continued doing PBRs. And we continued working. And here's me, in fact, doing training in a bed. You can see the bed, right? Just to let you know, we had no office. I've never had an office space in ACN, ladies and gents. Never. Never ever had an office space. In fact, I built my business in our world headquarters in London. You know where our world headquarters in London is? Costa Coffee in Westfield Shopping Centre. World headquarters. We call it the ACN headquarters. Even the employees are ACN IBOs now. We call it, and that's where we built our business. I've never had an office to do my ACN business, ladies and gents. I've literally done it from living room to living room to BOM, from training to training, from home to home. And this is how we grew our business. Everyone saw Ayub El-Amrani yesterday on stage, yes or no? This was me and him when we were ETT. When we were executive team trainers, this was me and him. And as you can see, one rule in ACN, one rule. You never wear your pin on your tie. He's wearing his pin on his tie. And what happened after that? We started growing. And who saw Abdul Sharif on the stage right now? And this was us. This was us. We started growing. And at the time, I was executive team leader. They were both executive team trainers. And you know what happened after that, ladies and gents? From June 11th, and I really want you to catch this if the translation is happening. From June 11th, 2013 to December 31st, 2013, just because of that convention, I want to show you how my downline grew. And this is how much my downline grew to 347 people in 2 months to December 2013. In 2 months. Because of these ACN international events. And you know what happened in February 2014? we started experiencing huge growth. And I got promoted to regional director in Rotterdam 2014. And that was me there standing behind our vice president, co-founder, Mr. Greg Provenzano. And as you can see the picture there, because I'm going to show you a picture later on, that's a picture of our team at the time. And we managed to get from 7 people to 200 people to the next convention in Rotterdam. And that's all I did. People ask me, Ahmed, how did you do it? Here's what I say. All I do, I'm like a forklift. I lift someone up. Hey, let's go to the convention. I bring them to the convention. They sit down. Wow. Okay, bring someone else. Bring them to the convention. Wow. Bring someone else. Bring them to the convention. Wow. And we just double in numbers. We just double in numbers. It's like a virus that you cannot hold. I mean, who agrees with me when, you know, when germs occur somewhere and 1 ant comes and 2 ant comes and 3 ant comes and all of a sudden there's a whole army of ants. There's a nation of ants in your kitchen. Has anyone experienced that before? I remember once I went on holiday and unfortunately I left a bit of honey on the table, and by the time I came back, there was a colony of ants. And that's how we just started, you know, expanding as a business. And what happened after that? In Barcelona 2014, from Palau St. George Arena, in October 2013, I became regional vice president in June 2013. 2014 in Palau St. George Arena. The same convention I attended, and I was sitting at the very back. The next convention, at the same arena, I was regional vice president. And what happened after that? I had the privilege of getting a chance to train the first time on stage as regional vice president in Munich, Germany. In Munich, Germany in 2014, I was given the first opportunity to train on stage. And I gave my first training on stage. Can you imagine an individual that was sitting in the stands with the fans, October 2013, and in October 2014, they were on stage. Can you imagine? And why was this? Just because of the convention to convention to convention. How are you going to build your business? From convention to convention to convention. I don't think you're saying it with me. From convention to convention to convention. Let's say it one more time. From convention to convention to convention. Now, who remembers the picture I showed you earlier in 2014? Do you know what happened after that last convention that we had in Rotterdam? We had 1,708 people at the last convention in Rotterdam, and this was us. And we really started growing. And that's all we did. We came from event to event to event, and we made events seem like the main priority in our business. And ladies and gents, let me tell you what happened to my business. From January the 1st, 2014 to December the 31st, 2014, so 1 year. Let me show you what happened to my business. My business grew from 300 people to more than 6,395 people by the end of that year, in 1 year. In 1 year. And today, just taking people from events to events to events, there are more than 14,700 people in our team today. And this convention, we have more than 1,700 people in this convention today. Because why? We just promote from event to event to event. And what I'd like to do is, I just like to show you some of the top producers that we have in our team that have literally just done a great job of promoting events to events. Now, Greg Provenzano yesterday, he called out a few individuals that were the top in pre-registration. Now, there are 4 individuals that I just like for them to share a quick testimonial with you and how the events have impacted their business. The first individual, he's a team coordinator, but here's the thing. He's a team coordinator and he has 117 people from his team here today. 117. He was number 1 in Europe for top pre-registrations. The next individual was the number 2 in Europe for top pre-registrations, and he has 93 people here today, and he's a team coordinator. And we have 2 other individuals, two female individuals. They're absolutely dominating the business, doing absolutely and exceptionally well. The first individual, she has more than 80 people in her team here today. And the final individual has more than 60 IBOs, and they are all team coordinators. So 117, the other has 93, the other one has 80, and the other one has 60. And they all have their teams with them today, and they're team coordinators. So I'd just like to welcome them on stage. If you can please put your hand together for top producing team coordinator, Mr. Humras Khan, Miss Fardosa Ali, Mr. Jonathan Jayaratnam, and Miss Medina Mukhtar. Humras.
Wow. Good morning, ACN! Guys, I am so excited to be here today. Extremely humbled and honored. It really is my personal pleasure to be delivering my testimonial to each and every single one of you, fine ladies and gentlemen. And I'm truly blessed to be standing here, ladies and gentlemen. And, you know, give me a second, sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Humras Khan. I'm currently 27 years young. Prior to being involved in ACN, I was a full-time student at university studying sports and exercise science and sports therapy. So in essence and in theory, I was a qualified sports scientist and physician. Out in the corporate world, my educational status didn't really amount to nothing. When I went into job interviews, they asked me for experience, they asked me to do voluntary work, and it was extremely exhausting. I said no, 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 no. So when I saw ACN, I was extremely excited and attracted to the residual income. And you know, I dived straight in and I made a decision to get started. Now what happened was, my first 3 weeks into the business, I was extremely excited. My motivation went sky high, down to rock bottom, and I lost all motivation. And one of my mentors, in fact, a few of my upline mentors, Mr. Mukhtar and Mr. Ayyub al-Amrani themselves, they told me I need to get out to an international convention. And when I came to my first international convention in Rotterdam 2014, what I saw actually blew me away. It blew my mind away. I mean, the leadership of the co-founders, the senior vice presidents, the information that was received, it was blown away. And I went back to the United Kingdom with a bulletproof mindset. You know, I had conviction and certainty. And literally, guys, I told everyone to get to the next convention after convention after convention, just as Ahmed said. So my first convention, I went alone. My next convention, I built a team of 40 people. They all left me, you know, and 6 of them came to Barcelona with me. And my next convention, I went with 16 individuals. And then Rotterdam, 100, and here today with more than 117 representatives. This is why I'm team coordinator #1 pre-registration. Thank you very much, guys. God bless. Have a great time.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Fardosa Ali. I come from a legal background, and I'm also a managing director of a financial consultancy company. When I was introduced to ACN, I was invited to attend my first international event. However, I said I was absolutely way too busy to attend an event. And my sponsor, regional director, Mr. Ibrahim Ali, said to me, Fardas, as a managing director, today, would you sign a partnership with a company if you've never met the co-founders of that business? And I said, no, that's unethical. And he said to me, how can you start the ACN business if you never ever meet the co-founders? And that made so much sense to me. I attended the event, I was absolutely blown away by what I saw, and I made it my personal commitment to ensure that anybody who joined our organization attended the event. Because personally, I think it's unethical to start a business where you do not meet the co-founders. Thank you very much.
Good morning, ACN. Woo, I'm so fired up. Okay, you know, my name is Jonathan Jayaratnam. A little bit of background about myself is I've done a degree in biomedical sciences. I passed that with flying colors. I then did a master's in biomedical sciences because I couldn't get a job in the first. And then I did a master's in law straight after. And people ask, why did you do that? It's probably the traditional Sri Lankan thing to do. You know, and I really, really struggled in ACN in the beginning. My momentum was extremely slow. So those of you that have slow momentum initially, I can completely relate with you. The only thing that created a defining point in my life in ACM simply was going to the first convention in Rotterdam in 2015. And it really showed me a great insight into what ACN has. Initially, I came to ACN extremely skeptical, but it reversed the process just by going to convention to convention to convention. Right now, we stand with 93 people confirmed registrations here today. The next convention, I'm aiming for 200 plus. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, ACN. My name is Medina Mukhtar, and prior to ACN, I was working full-time as a lawyer. And I was introduced to this business by my brother, Ahmed Mukhtar. And when he first introduced me to the business, he told me about Munich 2014. And he said to me, Medina, you need to come to this convention. I never did understand the size of ACN until I came to Munich. And that's when I saw the magnitude of this business. And from that point, I had 5 people in my organization. I was a newly promoted ETT. And today, I'm a team coordinator, President's Club member with over 60 people in my organization. And I told them all, and I brought them all here to this business today, to this convention, because I wanted them to experience what I experienced and to go through what I went through and to do the things I've done. So with that said, thank you very much.
This way. Yeah, this way now. Guys, can we give them one more round of applause for doing a great job? There was an individual, and what he did was, he wasn't self-confident. He wasn't confident about himself. And the moral of the story is there never is a right time to do something. Today is the day, because here's why. This individual, he wasn't confident about himself. He really lacked belief. He thought he was bad looking. He thought, he repelled people. He thought he didn't have what it takes, and he went to a restaurant and he saw a lady and he fell in love. And he looked at her and he said, wow, she's absolutely amazing. She bathes in perfume. The way that she looks and her persona and her aura and how she carries herself is absolutely amazing. I want to marry this lady. After one day of seeing her, he said, I want to marry this lady. But he said, if I try and approach her now, she would probably say, go away, you don't look good. Go away. I'm not interested in you. That's what he thought she would say. So he said, what I'm going to do is for the next 1 year, I'm going to work on myself. And I'm going to focus just on myself. And I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to get that physique that I've always wanted. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to look good. So 1 year from now, I'm going to go back to that same restaurant and I'm going to marry that lady. That's what he said. And what happened after that? 3 months later, he sent her a postcard. And he gave the postcard to the mailman and he said to the mailman, go and deliver this letter to her and just tell her that guy that saw you at the restaurant 3 months ago, he's coming back for you 1 year from now. I have you in my mind and you're the love of my life and I love you for who you are and you're just amazing and I'm coming back for you. Just hang in there for me. 9 months to go. You know what happened after that? 6 months went by. He sent her another postcard and he said to the mailman, go and deliver this letter to her. Tell her 6 months to go and I am on my way, baby. And he said, I'm going to come back for you 6 months down the line. I want to see you. I love you, and so on and so forth. You know what happened after that? 9 months went by. 9 months went by, and he sent her another postcard, and he gave it to the mailman. And he said to the mailman, go and give her this letter and just remind her how much I love her. And 3 months to go, I'm coming back for her. 12 months after that, he went back to the same restaurant. He went back to the same restaurant. And he went to the lady and he said, hey, I've been waiting this moment for 1 year. This is the moment. And he looked all good and his physique was good. He felt good. He looked good. It was like he was using Illuminate. And then he went to the lady and he said, hey, I am ready. It was me sending you all those postcards. I am ready to marry you today. I love you for who you are. I've been waiting for this moment for 1 year. And do you know what she said? She said, there's a problem. He said, what's the problem? I sent 3 postcards. And here's what she said, I'm married. I'm married. She said, I'm married. He said, what, you're married? How were you married? You never have a ring on your finger 1 year ago. How are you married now? She said, I'm married. He said, to who? She said, the mailman. The mailman, the one who's delivering the letters. So the moral of the story is, there never is a right time to do anything. There never is. Let me tell you when the right time to do something is. It's today. Make a commitment today that you're going to be here 5 months from now. Barcelona, Spain. It's going to be the most life-changing convention ever. Because here's why. It's the first convention of the year. And I'm going to tell you, those individuals that have registered and made a commitment to Barcelona 2015, it's going to be a convention like no other. It's going to change more lives that we can ever imagine, with all the new enhancements, everything which is going to be announced. Is going to be the best convention in ACN history. It's going to be the first convention that we have in Barcelona, Spain. So make that commitment today that you're going to be here. And the key is, honestly, build your business from convention to convention to convention. This company is honestly like no other. It's completely changed my life. And it can really do the same thing for you. But the reality is, for things to change, we have to do something different. We can't be the people that we are now and expect to get a different result. And we have the best opportunity on the planet. And always remember, there will be people that will tell you the grass is greener on the other side. There will be people. There will be people after this weekend that will tell you, what did you attend? What did they tell you at that event thing you attended 2-3 days? There will be those people, but understand the grass is greener where you water it. Always remember, the grass ain't greener on the other side, and most people think it is. And the reality is, you just don't know what you don't know, but always remember, the grass is greener where you've watered it. Ladies and gents, have a great weekend. I look forward to seeing each and every single one of you in Barcelona. I love you, ACN.